In the wake of the Sandy Hook killings in Connecticut, there have been demands for new gun control measures, as you've mentioned. And one of the proposed measures is not allowing prospective gun buyers with psychiatric conditions to own firearms. However, there are many military people and even police who have psychiatric conditions.
Don't I know it?
And so the question I have is, how is it constitutional for members of the military or law enforcement to carry guns for their profession while having those psychiatric conditions, and yet we want citizens that also have those same psychiatric conditions not to have guns? How is that?
Well, a couple things. Number one, anything's legal that you make a law for. Don't just make a law for is the easy answer. But I would caution against that approach as the same fallacy as starting with gun control. You can't start from the end result, and say certain mental illnesses are ineligible to carry guns, and then work your way backwards. What you need to do is have a substantive and honest discussion. Look at, there's many commonalities of mass shootings, school shootings specifically. Number one, they all largely, the statistics show, the commonalities show that they are largely white, of a certain age. At least one other person knows of their plans. There's 5 or 6 things that are common in every single school shooting. What I'm saying is, let's explore all the different things, all the different incidents. Let's have a real substantive academic study. Let's find the commonalities and see if we can, with some degree of accuracy, find causative factors or predictive factors, and then work that way. Let's work from knowledge forward rather than speculation, fear, reaction backwards. So I would never say, start with the premise that, well, if you have any diagnosed mental illness in the DSM-3 manual, these things, then you shouldn't be able to have a weapon. I would never start that way. I would start from, let's start at the start and have the discussion about how can we get to a point where we might be able to predict what factors might lead to this, and then see if it's reasonable and responsible to take action on those. And we may find that it's a very, 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 very narrow area of mental health. It's not just mental illness that we should try and, particular mental illness that we should try and identify to keep the guns out of. It's a discussion about our mental health system. That we don't have a mental health system in California, and largely the country. So it's about treatment. It's about family values, family structure. It's about independence and not dependence on governmental services. It's about all these things. But like I said, it's going to be a painful, but it's going to have to be a brutally honest discussion. That's where we need to go for gun control. That's when they say gun control, that's what I hear. That's where we need to go, and that's where I'm using my voice to do. So it's the same fallacy. I would never identify things and then say, hey, because those things feel good right now, those things, well, yeah, if someone's schizophrenic, well, clearly they shouldn't have a gun. Well, we don't know that. I mean, maybe someone with schizophrenia has ever committed any act of violence. It sounds good. It's politically expedient. It's a discussion about mental illness, but it misses the mark. You got to start at the start.
Tonight you had asked a question. You also got an answer from the sheriff. How do you feel he answered your question?
Well, I thought his answer was it was an okay answer. I mean, he didn't go into many specifics about like how it is constitutional or not constitutional for military and police that have psychiatric conditions to carry weapons, while our laws would bar citizens with the same conditions from having weapons. But I think that what he's saying is that it's a complicated issue, and it can't just be a simple yes or no answer.